Hey everyone, Silvio Perez here, joining you from London today, which is really exciting. And in this episode of Advertising Thoughts, I want to talk about how you can get started advertising on new channels. So if you're considering advertising on new ad platforms next year, that can definitely feel overwhelming. So my goal with this video is that you can walk away with this with some practical steps that you can take to get started and to diversify your channel mix. Because if you have all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak, then that's a huge concentration risk. So if all your traffic is coming from, let's say, Facebook ads, God forbid your Facebook ad account got banned, right? Now that's really going to cause a huge disruption in terms of your acquisition and hitting your goals, and you don't want that. So with that being said, let's dive into it. And I have all the steps here on my iPad so I don't miss any. Now, step number one to get started with new ad channels is to create a free ad account. It doesn't cost you anything, whatever platform you're considering. So if you want to get started on TikTok, like I did earlier this year, I went to TikTok's website, I signed up for a free ad account. All you have to do is put a card on file, but they don't charge you anything until you actually launch a campaign. So no worries. So whatever that platform is for you, go to that platform, sign up for their ads manager, and start to go and deep dive into the actual ads manager. So what you're going to want to be looking for are things like, what type of audiences do they support? So when you actually go into the ads manager, create a draft campaign. So pretend like you're going to create a real one, but look through all of the different components that they have. So starting from the very high level, what type of objectives do they support? Can they support a lead generation based objective so I can drive capture and direct response? Do they drive conversions? Do they support awareness? So if I want to distribute content, what are all the different objectives they have? From there, dive a layer deeper. What type of audiences do they allow me to build? So I know, hey, can I use this ads manager? Can I use this platform to get in front of my ideal customer? So dive a little deeper. So for example, with TikTok, I would say the closest equivalent to TikTok is probably something like Facebook, because TikTok, like Facebook, is targeting based on interest or certain topics. They do allow you to target based on hashtags, which is much more granular, but it's not as refined and precise as LinkedIn, which has over 200 plus characteristics that you can use from like firmographic and all these different things in order to reach a specific person. So it's a little bit broader. So deep dive into the audience targeting and see how can you use this platform, and where would it, if it is going to work, where would it fit in terms of your channel mix? Will it be more of your top of funnel creation activities? Could you use it more bottom of funnel for capture, etc., so on and so forth. And the other thing I highly recommend you do is, once you're exploring this ads manager, take a look at the conversion tracking section, and you want to see how can you track conversions. And really the two big things that I'm looking for is, do they support pixel-based conversions, so client-side tracking, and then do they support offline conversions, which is server-side tracking. If they support offline conversions, that's a huge plus in my book, because that means you're going to be able to track conversions and feed that platform's algorithm in a much more enhanced way. And if you want more videos on offline conversions and all that stuff, let me know in the comments down below. So with that, you've created the free ad account, you've deep dived, you've really done that first assessment. The next thing you're going to do is you want to go ahead and actually use the platform. So I always recommend to clients that if you're going to get started on an advertising platform for the first time, the first thing you want to do is you want to know what it's like to be an actual user of that platform. So I recommend that you use that platform for at least 1 month straight. So every single day for 1 month, you are active on that platform. So for example, for me, when I started getting into TikTok earlier this year, I created the ads manager, I looked through all the targeting options, I saw the supported conversion tracking. I also saw too, in terms of audiences, that I could upload customer lists. I was like, that's really cool. And then the next thing I did was like, okay, I need to learn TikTok, right? Because if I'm going to run ads here, I need to know what it's like to be the end user receiving the ads. So that way, when I create ads, I can create ads that are native to the platform, so that when my ad comes in somebody's newsfeed, the first thing they see is they're not like, it doesn't scream it's an ad and they just kind of, it seems out of place and they just keep scrolling through. It can catch their attention and create a pattern interrupt, and it looks like it belongs on that feed where they're scrolling through. So what I did was, every single day for a month, I got into TikTok and I used TikTok. I opened the app multiple times a day. I actually got hooked, which is, it's kind of the bad part of this, is if the platform is really good, you can get addicted. So just, calling that out, but it's worthwhile. And then from there, you dive into it. So like with TikTok, they have different capabilities. Like you can do, they have different trending sounds. You can all this, like just the search discovery. So really just use the platform and deep dive into it. Even take it a step further if you want, and watch YouTube videos on how to use the platform. Like really go all in. So for you, if that's TikTok, do that for TikTok. If that's Reddit, go into Reddit, create an account, get active in different threads, really see what it's like to be an end user. So that way, when you start to create your ads, you know what it's gonna be like being the person who will be seeing your ads on the other side. So that's the next step. Then finally, when you are in that process as well and you're really consuming the content, make sure you document anything you come across, whether that's ads or posts, like just organic posts that caught your attention and really captured your interest. Because if it captured your interest as a marketer who is like the most jaded individual, all the tricks in the book, etc. So if it worked for you, the chances that it's going to work for your actual ideal customer is very, very likely. So go ahead and document, take screenshots and pictures. You could actually save certain TikTok videos too, which is really cool for TikTok specifically. But like if it's Twitter for you, get active on Twitter, really learn what it's like to be a creator on Twitter and a user, and just there's no shortage of what counts as good inspiration. Take it from all sources, and that's going to be really key. So from there, you created your free ad account, you deep dive, you're like, this makes sense, I can see how I can use this. You know what it's like to actually use the platform, so you can create content that's native to it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to create a test campaign. And for this test campaign, I recommend, it could be a budget less than $1,000. You're not trying to get rich here. You're not trying to, hit all your pipeline and revenue targets. All you're trying to do with this test campaign is you're trying to get a baseline to understand what are your real costs for this channel. So for going back to the TikTok example, I launched a lead generation campaign. And I launched it for, I think it was like $200 at first. It wasn't even $1,000. And I just wanted to see what is going to be my average cost per click, what is going to be my cost per 1,000 impressions, my CPM if it's like awareness based. And from there, once I know my CPC, then I can backtrack and I can say, okay, if I have an average cost per click of $5 and I'm driving people to this form, what is the conversion rate that I need in order to make this channel work at these cost metrics, right? So it gives you that first initial baseline to understand, am I fighting a winnable fight? Which is half the battle. Because if the numbers don't make sense from the outset, then it doesn't matter. And you could have all the best everything, but it won't work for you because just the numbers don't add up, right? The economics aren't there. So run this test campaign, less than $1,000. If you're really strapped for cash, you could even just do for $100 just to get initial baselines of just what is my average cost per click, and then from there you can back factor what are the conversion rates that I need, etc., etc. Now, once you've done this, your 3 huge things are going to come out of it. Number 1, it doesn't take very long, right? So if you're the commitment to start into a new channel, it only really takes a month, and that's if you're really doing your due diligence. But you could even do it like in 14 days if you're just like obsessed and going all in on that platform. But by you doing this, it's really going to make you simplify things and get started on that platform. So I hope this was helpful. Just to recap, create that free ad account, get in there, get your hands dirty, see the conversion tracking, check out the audience criteria, the objectives, all things like that, right? Get into the platform. From there, become a user, get obsessed with it, do everything you can to learn about that platform, understand how to, almost like if you wanted to become a creator of that platform, how would you do that? Understand what it's like to be the end user, so that way you have empathy when you create ads for that they're going to see in the future is going to be key. And then finally, run a quick test campaign, right? Less than $1,000. Just get those baselines, understand what is my cost per click, what would be the conversion rates that I need. If you are driving capture campaigns, then what were your conversion rates that you were able to generate with your first go around, right? And then from there, if it makes sense to continue, then go ahead and launch more campaigns with more attention and more effort, right? More time input in towards creative strategy, etc., so that you can really start to run through that process of trying to get this channel to work for you. So I hope this video was valuable. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm trying to take Q&A for different episodes on advertising thoughts. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer in a future video, let me know in the comment section. And with that, if you want more content around B2B advertising, be sure to follow, and I'll see you in the next one.